Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Mel. I grew up playing outside.
And I grew up doing something meaningful, watching movies and TV.
I never had cable, and we finally bought a VCR about the same time DVD players hit the market.
Throughout our marriage, Mel has sadly missed many of my pop culture references and movie quotes.
So it's time to catch up on all the films I missed.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you tonight?
I'm great.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's watch a movie.
You are always great. Every single time. You are a beacon of light.
Thank you.
That shines the way home for me.
Thank you.
Yes. Do you have any idea what we're watching tonight?
Was that just a clue? A beacon of light that shines the way home for you? Is this a lighthouse movie?
Lights are important for many things in life.
Is this a Stephen King lighthouse movie?
Is there? Oh, there is a Stephen King lighthouse movie. You've seen that, though.
Yeah, I did.
The Fog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, was that a Stephen
Did I see
King?
it?
That's a John Carpenter film. You're getting me off track. I fell prey to your wiles. And okay, you know how much I love to talk about movies. Anyway, we're talking about you. Do you know what movie we're watching tonight?
I have no idea.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay, well, wow. I don't know what to do to give you a clue. Sorry. I'm kind of nerding out about this one because this is a quintessential film
Okay.
that you have not seen.
Ooh, okay.
And your family has,
Oh,
I would say, harassed you about not having seen this film. And because we're going to see them tomorrow, you are going to see it
This is
before.
Top Gun.
Top Gun.
Oh my God.
We are watching Top Gun.
Okay, fine. It's here. The day is here. I will watch it.
You don't sound excited.
Do my homework now.
What do you know about this movie?
Oh my gosh. What don't I know about this movie? I know everything about this movie that you could know.
Do you?
Without having seen it.
Okay.
Talk to me, Goose.
Oh, you know the name of a
That's a
character.
line from the
Okay.
movie.
Okay. What else do you know?
Take my breath away.
Oh, nice. I'm glad we got that recorded. Okay. Boom, 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 boom.
Tom Cruise, fighter pilot,
Uh-huh.
thinks he's all that.
Okay.
Wears the glasses. I don't know. And then things happen.
What kind of glasses does he wear?
They're like straight on top and then they like curve down.
Yeah.
They're mirrored.
What are they called?
Go figure.
Oh, wow. Okay, keep going.
Okay, Val Kilmer's in this movie.
Okay. Do you know his character's name?
Goose. Didn't I just say that?
Okay. Fair enough. Val Kilmer's Goose. Got it.
Oh, maybe he's not. I don't know. I've never watched the movie, but I've heard so many references. I've seen so many clips. I feel like, you know how sometimes you see the preview?
Yeah.
And you're like, I just saw the whole movie. I kind of feel like I'm in that position.
Okay.
So things could still surprise me because you can be surprised in that situation.
Sure.
But where I'm sitting now,
Yeah.
I'm just going to take my lumps and watch this movie.
No, I'm pushing on this. You said, and I quote, I know everything there is to know about
All
this
right,
movie.
I was kind of maybe
You were getting a little cocky.
overstating there. Yeah.
Well, there are a lot of cockpits in this movie, so you can get a little cocky.
Right.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so do you know anything about the general plot, though? You haven't actually mentioned anything about a plot.
I mean, like, I don't know, he has to, like, learn. No, I don't know. I'm done.
I was really hoping you were going to try and fake it. Okay, so you don't know anything about the plot. You know there's Tom Cruise, and he's got Goose Val Kilmer, and I don't know what they like. Are pool sharks? No,
they're.
I'm just messing with you.
They're in like this elite squad. And
elite squad. Okay.
He's kind of like probably like the brash know-it-all
young
cadet.
Okay.
And then he does do his thing, and it like saves the day, and
okay,
that's gonna be something in there.
Something in there. Okay. All right.
I don't know why I feel this way about Top Gun. I think it's because
I really want to know. Yeah.
I think it's just one of those things where like when everyone says it's awesome and cool, you're like, it can't be that good.
Okay.
And so
is this like, what is the way you feel about it? It can't be that good because you said, I don't know why I feel this way about it. What is this way?
Like I've never wanted to see it.
Oh. Tom Cruise, cover your ears.
I know. And I like Tom Cruise. I love Mission Impossible.
You do.
I do.
Yeah, okay.
And Far and Away. And not that one.
And what? Titanic?
No, I didn't
I
say
loved
that.
him in Titanic. He was amazing.
Okay, I didn't say it. I stopped myself.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so we're going to see Top Gun.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And you are going to finally submit to the cultural inertia of having to see this movie.
And I'm probably going to like it because I do like a good over the, an action movie.
I mean, for real though, respect, fist bump that you held on to your teenage angst about I don't want to watch this because everyone tells me to. You held on a long time.
A long time.
It was a long time.
I'm still resisting.
I can see the resistance in your eyes. Okay, so what's the, how do you feel? How are you feeling right now in this moment?
I could go to bed.
Is that going to be your tagline for the film?
I'm upset at myself already for liking it. I know I'm going to like it.
Okay.
And I've not liked it so long that I'm kind of grumpy about this whole situation.
So conflicted right now. We're going to dig into that a little bit later. Do you want to give us a tagline for this one? The movie poster, what would you do? What would you call?
Talk to me, Goose. No.
Talk to me, Goose. Okay.
Brash young pilot. Saves the day.
Saves the day. Okay. That's much better than any songs that are in this movie for taglines. Let's go check it out.
Okay.
What? What are you laughing about?
I was trying to work it.
You're trying to work in what? No, please.
I can't even say
what?
A line from Highway to the Danger Zone.
Yes.
Because I know that's in the movie too.
Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't. No, I'm done.
You could have just said Highway to the Danger Zone.
Why don't we just go?
Let's go watch this
movie.
One. All right, let's check it out.
I'm going to send you up against the best.
Yes, sir.
You two characters are going to Top Gun.
I feel the need for speed.
For 5 weeks, you're going to fly against the best fighter pilots in the world.
You guys really are cowboys.
I don't like you because you're unsafe.
That's right. I am dangerous.
The wild card lies by the seat of his pants.
I guess when I see something, I go right after it.
It takes a lot more than just fancy flying.
Gentlemen, this school is about combat. There are no points for second place.
Figured it out yet?
What's that?
Who's the best pilot?
No, I think I can figure that one out on my own.
Tom Cruise, Kelly McGillis. Top Gun.
Well,
that was it. That was Top Gun.
That was Top Gun. Was your need fulfilled?
What need are you talking?
My need for speed. Come on.
Yeah.
You didn't even know you had a need for speed, did you?
Now I do.
Not everybody does. And that's the thing that's so magical about Top Gun is everybody doesn't know that, and it fulfills the need for speed.
Okay. That's a good line anyway.
It is. It's true. What did you I can't wait until you're able to talk to your family because it didn't really come up in conversation when we saw them. And how do you feel? Do you feel equipped the next time you see them to have a conversation about this movie?
Yes, although I do know they're going to just say, well, now you need to see the next one. It's never enough.
That's fair. It is never enough. Isn't that how it always is with family, though? Come on.
Well, yeah.
That's true. What'd you think of this one?
I thought it was really solid.
Uh-huh.
It was really good.
Uh-oh.
It was a Jerry Bruckheimer film.
Correct.
It was amazing to watch Tom Cruise so young.
Yeah, it's very trippy when you're only used to,
to the Mission Impossible Tom Cruise.
Exactly, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was awesome. And yeah, there was a lot that I liked about this movie. I was surprised at what I like, how much I liked it.
You were Yeah, you were not too keen going in, really.
I was like,
yeah.
oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I was thinking it was kind of in the Fast and the Furious camp for me.
Wow, that is just for context, that is a very strong statement for you.
Well, I've done a lot of soul searching about why I didn't want to see this movie, and that's what I've come up with. That it was kind of like, I just had the impression that it was kind of just like a macho, like big screen, big stunt movie with not a whole lot of plot. And that was like I've said before, I am guilty of making like the raw, like prejudging things.
Sure.
And I don't want that to stop me from seeing something that I might enjoy. So I'm glad that I saw it.
Totally.
And it wasn't like that. It does not fall into the Fast and the Furious camp.
Okay. Have you seen a Fast and the Furious movie before?
No. And despite what I just said, I really don't want to.
I was like, I was about to say, technically, this is there's fast planes, there's men who are very machismo in it. Like, it has those elements. That's not all it is.
Yeah.
But it definitely has those elements pretty strongly in there. Like, we watched the making of, I've watched the making of, and it was talking about how, like, the director was calling it basically like a music video, like a rock and roll movie of just like jet fighter planes going. And then maybe there's some plot in there. Like, that's the director's words.
I found that interesting because I felt the opposite. I felt like I was more into... Yeah. And I thought there were more scenes of like the story and the characters, and not so many of the flight scenes. So I actually thought, like, man, if that's what you wanted, Bruckheimer, I don't think you got that.
Oh. Well, it wasn't Bruckheimer who said that. It was the director.
I thought it was.
No, the director said that.
It was the director. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry.
And no, that's totally fine. I'm sure he's not offended. I'm sure he's gonna be okay. That's Tony Scott, Ridley Scott's brother.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool. They're all related. Love it.
Yeah, the Nolans versus the Scotts. That would be a fun, cage match.
The Scotts makes it sound like they're from Scotland.
Yeah, it does. So it's funny watching it this time for me, because I've obviously seen it before. I thought, man, there were a lot of flying scenes, which sounds ridiculous to say out loud. But I remember thinking, oh man, there's more than I remember. I just, in my mind, when I would go back and think, I'm like, they're shorter in my head. The flight scenes were much shorter. It was like action, done. But they were like, 15-minute sequences sometimes of just flying, which was cool. But I was like, wow, there's a lot of fun. Yeah.
The flight scenes made me think about what we say about car chases.
Okay.
They're very difficult. I could just objectively, I think this is true. They must be very difficult to shoot, because think about, like, if you're shooting a plane without anything next to it, you can't tell how fast it's going. You can't tell how big it is. And so I could tell that they put a lot of effort into making the flight scenes like exciting. Yeah. And the way they cut and did everything, like, you can tell. Oh yeah. That was like, that was probably a big challenge, and I would utterly fail at making like an airplane flying look exciting, but they did a really good job of making it exciting. They got a little long though. Yeah. I will say.
But I think a part of that too is like the whole, you and I were like, what is Goose actually doing? And
I felt so bad about that.
And my guess, I looked it up. My guess was right, which is they're like the guy in the backseat. He's responsible for like doing different scans and stuff, as well as like doing like air to ground, like missiles and stuff like that. So that's his main job, which none of that happened in the movie. So the movie, it just seems like he's just there to like basically as a rear view mirror.
Yeah.
To just look over his shoulder all the time.
And even then, that's not easy to do because like your seat is behind you. You cannot see directly behind you.
And they're constantly scrambling. And part of what makes, I think, it more exciting, like you're mentioning, is the fact that they had so many close-ups of them in the cockpit when they're having that intensity and, trying to figure out what's going on. Yeah. So, wow. I'm still on this Fast and the Furious thing. So this feels like a beachhead to me. I'm not going to digress into Fast and Furious. I'll leave that alone. This movie, though, I was like, when I looked again at how much this made, it shocked me. Like, this movie cost $15 million to make, which was a lot, you know, and it made like $180 million.
Whoa.
Which that's a pretty good return on your investment.
Wow. Nice.
I would like to do that with our investments. That would be nice.
In the commentary, one of the people said that like all the actors in it, like Tom Cruise, like they had a lot riding on this movie. Like they put everything into it because they were at a point in their career when this was hopefully going to like give them a big boost.
Yeah.
Val Kilmer, which, oh my gosh, that's so awesome that he's in this.
Yeah.
He didn't want to do it. I think he had to be convinced to
the
do
director really had to prod him to do it.
Even like
chased him down. Yeah.
Chasing after him after a meeting and saying, no, you need to do this movie. Yeah. And then he's like, okay. And then
his stories, he's so quirky. Like when he was talking about what he did just during the production of this, he would just kind of be like want to be antagonistic towards Tom Cruise and just do pranks on him.
Yeah.
Just nonsense things.
Yeah.
It's kind of silly.
A little bit of that animosity on the set was actually kind of, I don't know. Is that method acting? Like when you're... I
always thought method acting was more like you just stay in character. Maybe it's meta method acting where he's still him, but he's just channeling being a jerk towards Tom. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so things that I liked about the movie. It was filmed in San Diego, and we lived in San Diego, and so it was so great to see the old places, the Coronado Bridge in the background. I forgot that. When we were doing the preamble, I totally forgot that it was filmed in San Diego.
Yeah.
I think we mentioned maybe the bar stool.
Yeah.
And then but I didn't really...
Sure.
I didn't really think about that I'd be looking at a video.
Yeah.
A movie filmed like in our old home. So
it's old enough. Awesome. We can call it a video. It's okay. It's on a lot of VHSs. So yeah.
So that was super, super cool. And did we already? Yeah. So I loved that it was filmed in San Diego.
Yeah. I love the bar, like the scene where he's in the bar where he sings the song, "You've Lost That Loving Feeling," and the famous stool there, like, when you see him on the stool next to her, he's like, I don't know, 1.5 feet over her head when they're sitting down. It's crazy the difference. They like way overshot it.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the movie, you cannot, there's never another like contrast like that throughout the rest of the film.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What other things did you like about
it? So when we were watching the movie, we watched it in 2 parts. And like after the first part, you were like, Melissa, you can tell your brother and sister that you watched it, but you have to tell them they can't talk about it yet because there's something coming up
like
that everyone talks about. And I was like, what is it? What is... So my mind was like spinning, wondering what it was. And I thought, I know someone's going to die. But up until that point, I had been thinking like, what does a goose do?
Yeah.
And
besides
I was kind of
being
like,
awesome.
Yeah. His character was really awesome.
Yeah.
But up until that point, like I was like thinking, what is his point? Like the point of that person in the plane. And then when it was him that died, I felt really bad.
Because you were thinking he was pointless basically, and then he died.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that terrible?
Yeah, well, he's all right.
Well, the whole scene where he died it was really beautifully shot, because after he falls in the water, the helicopter's like coming down to pick him up, and
the Coast Guard,
the water is like being like swept away by the propellers of the helicopter, and it's actually beautiful. Like,
it had the dye in it, the green dye.
Yeah.
It's like a water flare.
And there's like a soft song being played, and the whole everything dealing with his death was just really thoughtful and like really beautifully done. Like Meg Ryan and Tom Cruise, like their interaction and their discussion with like the music playing behind it. It was all like just, I keep saying beautiful, but it was just
I would call it poignant. It was very poignant.
Yeah, so I thought that was really well done. That to me sets it apart from like just any macho movie.
Okay.
Because it was
Fair enough.
That was really beautiful.
All right.
I'll stop saying beautiful.
That's good. No, it's fine. We can make this podcast a drinking game. Every time you say beautiful, someone should take a drink of lemonade.
Lemonade.
Yes.
Or pop.
Or pop. You're careful. You're giving away.
Or soda pop.
There you go. There you go. We got to be equal opportunity with our beverages. So we never did a summary of the movie. We got so excited. Give me the summary of the movie.
Okay, it's really about this school where like the best of the best go. It's called Top Gun.
Yeah.
And they learn to be fighter pilots.
Yeah.
For the military. What are you
I'm
laughing at?
Because when I took the Blu-ray, one of our kids saw the Blu-ray and they're like, Top Gun? Why is it just gun? Why not guns?
At the top.
Yeah.
So there's
best of the best.
They're trying to get through the school.
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, like Tom Cruise is dealing with like life and
he has past issues, daddy issues basically.
Yeah. And his partner Goose dies.
Yeah.
Oh, and I had been so flippant about the phrase "talk to me, Goose."
I know.
But it's really emotional now that I know. Like it almost was like a prayer when he said it later at the end, Yeah.
Oh. I forgot about that. I always think whenever I say talk to me, Goose, it's more of you're in the co-pilot seat and you're like asking him for information.
Yeah. Let's communicate.
Yeah, exactly. I don't see it as the like throwing the dog tags into the water meditative.
Yeah.
But you will, and that's cool.
So that's the summary. They go through school.
Yep.
And there's rivalry between Val Kilmer and Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
They want to be like the top.
Yeah.
And yeah.
What I thought, like, the way that they made this film was kind of crazy, interesting. Like, they saw an article in a magazine.
Yeah.
And then they bought the rights for the article.
And the article was just describing the school of Top Gun, which is real.
Yeah, it's real. And yeah, so then they bought the rights, and then they just had to, like, farm and go talk to the Navy and try to get all that working. They went through all that. They really wanted to make it. They were getting shot down.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, wow.
It was
excellent.
When Eisner was at Paramount, and then they got shot down for making it, and then they left for Disney, and then these new, like heads of studio came in, and then boom, they were like, make something for us. So they did it.
Yeah.
And
it wouldn't have happened if Eisner hadn't left for Disney.
No, it probably would have been a different movie.
Yeah.
And the writers too, like, I thought it was really interesting hearing how they viewed it as a sports movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they wanted it to be really like sports. They needed a locker scene.
Yes, they needed the locker scenes.
The volleyball court scene. They needed they needed to have a trophy, sort of, which was the name on the plaque.
Yes.
Which they kind of had to make that up because
they totally did. The military guys said there's no way we could offer a trophy for this because the people who are in this competition are so competitive. People would probably die to like get the trophy, like literally die. So I thought that was interesting too.
Yeah, that they saw it as that kind of movie. Yeah. Which, by the way, one of the writers is from East Lansing, Michigan.
Yes, that's true.
To shout out to that. That's
MSU.
Super cool.
I think, he was a Spartan.
Yeah. So, yeah, what about you? What did you like upon this viewing?
Man, it's hard to watch because now I'm a dad. I think this is the first time I've watched this since I was a dad. So when Goose is like, I got to start whatever because I have a family to think about, it always is like cheap shot to the dad heartstrings because I know it's coming too.
Yeah.
So that was a little more poignant. The thing that struck me most, though, when I watched this time, was I was way less irritated by Val Kilmer. I was kind of on Val Kilmer, Iceman's side this time.
Oh.
I agreed with most of what he said. He was like, you're dangerous. You're doing things that are endangering other people.
You need to be a team player.
We need to work together to do this stuff.
Yeah.
And, the things he would do that seemed like he was challenging Tom Cruise and stuff, like they were very mild. I remember them being very like, he's like such a jerk when I was younger and I watched it. But this time I'm like, Maverick's totally the jerk. He's the jerk. He doesn't care about anybody else. He just like,
leaves his wingman, or he leaves as the wingman.
Yeah.
He doesn't stay on.
He's a squirrel. He's just a squirrel, and he just runs over and just does stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like Team Iceman. Like, I think he was great. If anything, he would freeze a bit. He froze a bit with like wanting to not lose like his competition. That was his only negative. Otherwise, he was solid. He was a really good pilot. He tried to like reel in the other people around him, and he called out someone who was being a jerk and dangerous to like try and stop it. So
all the while with crazy awesome hair had like this lift up off the forehead.
Yes. I don't even know how you do that. Does that hair blow dry?
That's like hairspray.
Does he just put his head out the window when he's in the jet and that just...
That's it.
Or stands behind far enough with the jet flames, maybe? Yeah.
No flames.
No flames? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you found yourself siding with Iceman more.
I was. And also, too, like, watching the planes. Now that we're in the 20s versus the 80s or 90s, you think about things like carbon footprint and how much pollution, yada, yada. Like, watching the planes and all the gas they're burning and spewing everywhere that's just in my mind. I'm like, wow, I wonder what the footprint was in this while I was watching it. But nonetheless, the planes... Even then, like the engineering behind that, the way that they launched them off the carriers, that technology is still, 60, 70 years old now, but it's still amazing.
Yeah.
Like the fact that they can do it and how fast those things go.
And then the fact that someone would put themselves in this tin can that's being launched into space.
Yeah.
Airspace.
Yeah.
Off of a boat. That's just remarkable.
Totally. And one of the writers, he was talking about how like he went up in one of the planes and he was like, it's like a full body workout being in the plane, like doing that stuff. And it just really, I think that helped with the sports motif for him too.
Yeah.
It's just like these guys are in peak physical condition to do this stuff. So yeah, that's kind of what resonated with me more now. I guess I'm more responsible than I was in my younger years. I was just like, man, people just want to have fun. And then there's this guy over here. He's just raining everybody's parade. He's being a jerk. And this time I'm like, no, that guy's actually really right. Should listen to that guy. So, yeah.
He kind of chokes though. Like Iceman, he kind of chokes out there when it's real. Don't you think?
I disagree.
Okay, he doesn't take a shot. He's in the air and like they're with the enemy. This is at the very end.
That's the competition.
The very end.
The very end. I remember
about that.
In the competition, like the last one, before Goose gets hurt, he's totally like there and he doesn't take the shot.
Yeah,
and that's what causes the backdraft and causes the crash and all that.
Well, that one, I don't think he choked so much as he was kind of like he wanted his opportunity to take the shot.
Yeah,
and he didn't want Tom Cruise to get a chance. So
yeah,
he was like at the top of the slide.
Yes,
and no one else can go.
Yeah,
but he's gonna go when he's ready.
Yes,
but I'm talking about
please expound.
At the end, the very end of the movie, like all of a sudden, boom, it's real. We're going into combat now.
Yes,
and when he's in combat, he's kind of freaking out.
What do you mean by freaking out? Because I thought this too. The way they filmed it, I definitely thought, oh, they're trying to make him look like helpless and like he needs help, basically. But when you think about it, it's one dude who just watched his wingman get shot down, and he has 5 jets that are like actively trying to take him out. And he survives for that long and doesn't get shot down, which is crazy.
That's true. But you can hear the panic in his voice.
Oh, he's totally panicking.
Yeah.
But he's nervous. I would probably be nervous too if there were 5 planes trying to shoot me down. So maybe I'm cutting Team Iceman some slack here. But I don't think he freezes, because if he froze, he would have just got shot down. He gets shot a couple times though. But yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
It all works out. But I think that was kind of like the writers wanting to give Maverick a chance to come in.
Oh, totally.
And kind of save the day. Or
Absolutely.
whatever.
Absolutely. That's why it was the whole 5-on-1. Like, he can survive, but he can't take him out. And then Maverick comes along and takes 1 or 2 out and saves the day. That's the redemption arc.
There it is.
There it is. So it sounds like you're happy you saw this.
So I've been thinking, I'm trying to figure out how to say how I feel about it.
Okay. This is wow. All I keep thinking with all these answers you're giving me about how you feel about it is I keep thinking, man, if you were talking about how a date went with me, like this, that would not be a good sign.
Okay, movies that we've watched that have really moved me.
Sure.
That are still like big movies. Jaws.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yes.
I didn't feel the same way after watching this one.
Oh, okay.
Like
okay.
it just didn't like touch a heartstring or something. Cocoon. It didn't move me like Cocoon moved me.
Okay.
Or let's see, Coming to America. Even
I love that movie.
I do too.
Yeah.
And like, what was the other one I was gonna say? I'm looking on my list. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Oh well, The Fly. That
touches you in a different way. Yeah,
it does.
It touches a different part.
It was good, but it was like it wasn't as like deep reaching for me.
Okay.
And as moving as some of the other ones I've listed.
Well,
and I'm thinking about another Jerry Bruckheimer, my favorite Bruckheimer film. I think it's my favorite.
Okay, what is
Terminator 2.
it?
Is that Jerry Bruckheimer? Please say yes. I think it is.
No, that's James Cameron.
Oh man. Okay. Darn. I had my whole comparison worked out.
Oh, please do the comparison. I really want to hear
Well,
it.
they're both big budget action films.
Okay.
But just the story and everything. I think it's just that I don't relate to Tom Cruise's character. Like I don't see a part of myself in his story. So it just didn't like resonate with me as much as the other ones that I've mentioned.
Okay.
So it's a great film. I'm really happy for the whole generation of people that loved it and it was meaningful to them.
Right.
And now I know. I've seen it. I've
Okay.
seen it and I understand it.
Okay.
So job done.
Job done. You didn't relate to the female character, the teacher, at all?
I liked her.
Mm-hmm.
I liked her a lot. I liked her independence a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't like, I don't know. It was, if other movies like dig as deep as like a 10, this maybe dug as deep as like maybe a 6. Does that make sense?
So it's like slightly above average.
Yeah.
I mean, first off, like, oh my goodness, I would be so unsatisfied with almost everything I watch if I compared them to Jaws. It's like reading a book and going,
we are
it's
comparing
not
them.
It's not Lord of the Rings, like Lord of the Rings is like another level.
I'm just trying to come up with a way to explain why this movie was like good.
I think just saying it was difficult to relate to the character and that kind of like, I think that's a good way to explain it.
There you go.
Yeah. Can't relate to father issues, huh? Issues with your dad. Okay, so what, if any, now that I know how deeply you feel about this, so what messages do you think this film was trying to bring into the world?
Oh, what messages?
Mm-hmm.
Do sports.
Do sports.
Like the writers were like, this is a sports movie.
Sure. Do sports.
Pro sports. I don't know. I don't have a message that I really, I mean, other than like life is short.
Oh.
Anytime a character dies in a movie, that's something you can take away. What about, did you take away something more?
First off, I agree. Life is short. You got to carpe that diem. The thing I took away is obviously never leave your wingman.
Right. I was going to say
never leave your wingman.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the message of this film. Never leave your wingman. If you had to serve in the Navy on a ship like that,
ooh,
what do you think you would be? Like, what role do you think you would do?
I really liked in this film, I was excited about the role of the people who were
the dancers. Sorry.
The dancers.
The dancers.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. I know.
Not to say that there's actually dancers on the ship.
Yeah.
But the people who
the air traffic control guys, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But they were really dancing in this movie. Like they were like doing moves. Yes.
Yeah.
Agree. Sorry. I'm excited because I was remembering the moves as you were saying that. That's why I got excited. Sorry.
And I've always like, it's the role of like the person like in the control room who's reading the radar and stuff. That role is also very appealing.
Yeah.
Except I'd like a standing desk, please.
Okay. That would be nice instead of sitting all the time.
Right, right. Oh, they were even smoking in the room in
Oh,
this movie.
yeah.
That kind of is like crazy.
I think it was only the guy who, the captain of the ship or the admiral, whatever he was.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he was the only one smoking, so it was like a power move.
What do you want to do?
I want to be the guy who just barks at everybody. I want to be the big boss guy. And I just get to like go, you think that's blah, blah, blah? Blah, 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 blah. Get your blah, blah, blah into blah, blah, blah. Like,
there you go.
That'd be fun.
There you go. And you're the one who like decides who gets to go to Top Gun.
That's true. I would. And I just perpetually dissatisfied.
Yeah.
Just perpetually dissatisfied. That'd be very on a ship. Oh, I would be so curmudgeon-y on a ship.
Oh, you would.
I would be a great
You would
CO.
never get any sleep.
Oh, it would be great.
CO or XO?
XO, CO, commanding officer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I would be the grumpiest sailor you've ever seen. My grandfather was in the Coast Guard, so I don't know. I did not inherit his sea legs. I wish I did. Anyway.
I know I mentioned this before, but I'm always just terrified that I would just trip.
And
because
fall
all
over.
of the doorways, the threshold is like higher than you would think. So I know I would do that.
Especially during a drill if there's like an emergency or something.
Like going anywhere quickly.
Battle stations.
I'm down on my face.
When you said I was afraid I would trip, I thought I was literally picturing just the aircraft carrier top where there's just nothing on the side, just falling over the edge. You're just near the edge and just boom, over.
Oh, that might happen too. You never know.
You never know. Well, any parting thoughts before we launch into the rest of our evening?
Well, now we have to see the next one, right?
Apparently. I think
this was before Tom Cruise was like his Mission Impossible stunts.
Oh, yeah.
Because now he's known for doing
crazy
stunts.
Yeah.
But this was kind of like, I wonder if this, because I know he went up in the plane too.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't he do it? So
he did.
I wonder if this was like the beginning of that journey.
I mean, he drove his motorcycle out to an airfield. They were trying to get him to do the movie and he wasn't committing. And then he went out and they just took him up in a plane.
Yeah.
And I mean, the fact that he just rode a motorcycle, that is a personality type. Not everybody is a motorcycle rider, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And seeing the picture of what he looked like for that, like his long hair, it was just, he looks like he's 16.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah. Me, I'm not a motorcycle person. I'm more of a moped.
Oh, yeah.
Person.
I'm more of a, PS4, PS5 person.
PlayStation?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this was great. Thank you. I guess I'm going to just check this off on my list.
This is like a bucket list, regardless of whether or not it'd be like you saying you got to try oysters before you die. And I'll be like, okay, I'll try it. We'll see how it goes. So
exactly like that.
All right.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.